skipping a back leg or hopping while they're running. This is a really, really common sign which often gets overlooked. Other things might be a male dog not standing up and not lifting their leg when they go to pee and just remaining standing. Another one might be being overly vocal, to bark a lot whilst you're going to take them out. You usually find that once the lead's on or once you're out the front door, the dog's fine and they stop barking. But this is a really, really common sign that there may be something a little bit wrong. Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about a really important topic. We're going to talk about the subject of pain. What is pain and how does it affect our dogs? So when a lot of people think of the word pain, they might think of a dog that is limping, of a dog that's maybe whining, a dog that maybe doesn't want to exercise, they don't want to play, quite lethargic. However, dogs are super resilient animals. Even if a dog's a little bit in pain, they're still probably going to want to play, they're probably going to want to run, they're going to want to play with their dog friends, they're still going to really try and enjoy their life as much as they can. So sometimes we miss some subtle signs that the dog might be uncomfortable simply because they're still running around or they're still wanting to go out for their walks. Dogs don't limp or skip their leg or hop for no reason. There is going to be a reason behind it, and generally that reason is that they are trying to avoid putting pressure on their back legs. So they are trying to skip or they're trying to keep it off the ground to make it more comfortable for them. A lot of dogs will be very, very vocal if there's something a little bit uncomfortable, especially if they are predicting that what's about to happen next might cause them discomfort. So really common signs of this is the dog barking a lot before you take them out for a walk. So this might be when you go to put the harness on or you go to put the lead on. And this is generally because the dog's feeling quite conflicted. They might want to go out for their walk, they're excited to go out, but they know that as soon as they hit that pavement or as soon as they get that lead on and they're super excited and jumping around, they start to hurt. Definitely if you have a dog that is reactive, pain is something that I'd always look into just to make sure there isn't anything else going on there which is causing the reactivity. This generally happens because they've made a connection between the trigger and pain. So this might be something simple like a dog looks at another dog, they tense up because they're a little bit nervous around other dogs. That tensing up then makes something hurt, and they have now connected that looking at a dog makes them hurt. The way that they try and prevent this is by barking, lunging, snapping, trying to get the dog to go away or the person to go away, because they feel like if they can get that thing away, then maybe they won't hurt. Another really, really common one, in fact, this is probably one of the most common ones I see with dogs who are in pain, is resource guarding, particular resource guarding spaces and sleeping spots. So this might be if your dog is chilling out and sleeping in the corridor and you walk past and the dog growls. It might be that the dog might be sleeping on the sofa, there might be someone sitting with them, and then when someone walks into the room, the dog growls or snaps or even lunges towards that person. Very often this is because they've got to a point where they're feeling quite comfortable, they're feeling quite safe, but someone approaching them is a potential threat to that. It might be that someone might go to touch them and stroke them in a place that makes them feel uncomfortable. It might be that they might make them move, and again, this is going to be uncomfortable for the dog. So this is really something that I would look for if we do have a dog that's resource guarding, particularly places. If you've got a dog that's quite grumpy around their sleeping spots or is quite uncomfortable with people passing them, whether they're on the sofa or whether on the floor, this is definitely something that I would look into because a lot of the time it is pain. Something else to look out for as well is just general scatty behaviour. And this is something that maybe a lot of people don't associate with pain because they think of the dog being lethargic or slow or not wanting to move around a lot. But I've seen quite a lot of dogs where there has been pain present and the dog's been incredibly scatty, quite erratic, very stressy. So you might see behaviours like a lot of jumping up, lots of mouthing. You may see some destructive type behaviour in certain scenarios as a form of displacement. And again, these aren't always things that you would associate with the dog being in pain, but it definitely can be. So training can only do so much if the dog is in pain. You're only going to get so far if your dog is uncomfortable. And as I said, a lot of the time, these issues aren't anything to do with training at all. It is simply a behaviour issue that can be solved if the dog is feeling more comfortable. So if you do have a dog that is reactive, if you do have a dog that is quite stressed, quite anxious, they might resource guard spaces. 100% the thing that you should be looking for to begin with is doing a pain assessment. So this might be going to your vet, this might be going to a specialist, or getting in contact with someone like a company like Dynamic Dogs who can do online assessments for pain. This means you can guarantee that your dog is pain-free before you start any training. As I said, there's no point sort of putting your dog through a lot of stress or through loads of training scenarios if the dog can't actually cope. So definitely the first thing you should be checking if you're having any trouble with these kinds of behaviours is a pain assessment and seeing if there is anything underlying going on with your dog.